Happy Homebrew Wednesday. It is a brew day, yes it is indeed. It is another brew day. So we are doing, well, that's the funny thing. Obviously you know what I'm doing by the title, but I didn't know what I was doing when I got up this morning. What I did know was I wanted to use this yeast, which is the Farm Garden Stored All Kveik yeast. Got this from my local Kveik dealer, aka John Anderson. Thanks John, send that over to me. So yeah, I've heard so much about this Kveik that I really wanted to give it a go. And I wanted to do it for two reasons. One, that's the first reason. The second reason is because every now and again you'll hear a little gurgle. That is another beer I've got in here in the fridge, the fermenting fridge. That is my entry to the Smash Off, super secret. So yeah, it's still going. It's still going to be in this fridge for another week. So what I'm going to do with this, I've only got one firm fridge. What I'm going to do with the Kveik, because it can handle temperatures, you know, up to like 40 degrees or something like that, and still, you know, anything between 20 and 40, and it'll still be really clean. So I'm going to put it into the hot press up the stairs in our house. Now the hot press is like the room where your water tank is, basically. You know, it's really warm, and we've got a walk-in one, so there's quite a lot of room in there. So yeah, I'm thinking of putting it in there. At the very lowest it gets to about 20 degrees, and it's sitting 24-25 degrees most of the time, maybe up to 30 degrees or something, maybe more when the heat's on. So yeah, that's the intention. I'm hoping then that this yeast, the Kveik yeast, is going to be able to handle that kind of variation in temperature, let's say. So I have no idea if it will or not. I've never used it before, obviously, so I'm hopeful. So if this is super yeast, so this is the future, you know. Kveik is the future. We'll soon find out if it is or not. So yeah, so that's it. So I was intending to do a black Rye IPA this morning. Now the reason I was going to do that was just because we're talking to Red Dog, John Campbell, Red Dog, yesterday, and that was basically what he said he did, because he got the same package as me. And I thought, well, that's a good idea. But it is on my list. The black Rye IPA is on my list because Frank always does them, and they're always bloody brilliant. So I was intending to do Frank's. I don't really have the correct stuff in it. Frank puts like black malt and all into it. I don't have any of that. So yeah, I was going to do my version of like a black Rye IPA, and then kind of part way through the recipe build. I was doing this as the water was heating up this morning. I should point that out. Like this was, you know, I was making this up as I went along. So I then changed it into a red Rye IPA, because I have a lot of dark Munich up there, and I wanted to use the rye because I've got a bag of it sitting up there, and it's probably up there not quite a year, but it must be close. So I like to get through some of that. So yeah, I've kind of tried to get it a red colour. I'll run through the green bill in a little minute, but I'll show you the pre-boil that's sitting here. It's kind of, obviously the pre-boils, it's hard to see, so it's not very clear, but it looks fairly red to me. So that's not too bad. It is 104, about 104.8 or something like that. So I'm trying to get it 105.2-ish, so that is pretty much spot on. I usually only get a couple extra points by the time the boil's finished, but we'll see that later on. But yeah, let's run through the grain bill then, and I'll show you what I'm doing. So as far as the grain bill goes then, we have the Golden Promise. I'm starting to really like that. I'm using it a lot. This is all I had left, 2.755 kilos. Just to be precise there, 755. Got a bit of dark Munich in there, 1.5 kilos. I've got 200 grams of rye, 200 grams of amber malt, and then a tiny little Sousson, a tiny little smidge of Carafa 3 to try and hit the SRM there, 17.56. So I think we've done it. I probably could have done with it being a little bit lighter still, but it is still red. It's quite a deep red though. In terms of hops then, I've got a ton of hops up here, so Chinook, of course. I've got so much Chinook, it's not true. I could cry the amount of Chinook I have. Amarillo, Citra, Simcoe. There we go. I don't think we need to go through that. We're trying to hit 60 ABUs. I don't want to go over 60 ABUs now when it's 5%. So, and then it's the usual drill: 15 litre mash, 15 litre sparge, a bit of gypsum in there. And then here we go. This is the Kveik yeast. So this is the Framgarden Stortle strain. I've put the custom attenuation as 80%. I'm not entirely sure. It might be more, it might be less. Not entirely sure. Just ignore that optimum temp. There's obviously no Kveik yeast in the list.
Well, yes, the brew day just started like any other brew day. I got up in the morning and weighed out some grains and went to mash in. Of course, when you're mashing in, we all know that this is the most important part of the brew day. You've got to do the top, middle, and bottom, especially the bottom. It's very important. That bottom down there, yes. But I soon got bored of this. Who wouldn't? And I don't have arms like a gorilla, so I decided that I wasn't going to do it anymore, and I was going to test the temperature. So on this beer, I was going for a 68-degree mash, just in order to get a bigger body than normal, because it's only going to be about 5% or so. So when I was happy, I wrapped it up, and an hour later, I was ready to sparge, and there you go. It's just the batch sparge is normal, and this is the most boring part of the process, so I decided to have a cup of coffee and go onto YouTube and troll some other homebrewers, which I did gleefully.
But it was around this time that I started to get nervous about something was going to erupt, something was going to happen, and I kept thinking about it all the time, but I wasn't sure exactly what it was that was going to happen. But I did the hop drops anyway, and then all of a sudden these men just appeared from nowhere. But I tried to ignore them, and I just did another hop drop. You know, it doesn't mean anything to me if I don't pay them attention. Oh my goodness, they're there again. But if I just don't pay attention to them, they'll not notice. But then I was being silly because I soon realised that it was just some dumb movie I was watching, and it didn't really mean anything, and those men weren't actually there, and it was all in my imagination. And all that's because I didn't take any footage of the brew day.
Okay, so that's the end of the brew day then. It's about 6 hours later or something like that. I've finished cleaning up and all, so I just remembered that not only have I not taken any video footage of the brew day, that I hadn't taken any footage of the end of the brew day, so I thought I might as well come out here and do it. So yeah, there is the final word there. 1053, I think it is. Finished with 19 litres it was. I stopped fermenting, or stopped taking it out of the kettle because there was loads of crap on the bottom, so very good. Yeah, that'll do nicely. So it all depends on what that yeast attenuates down to. So if it's 80%, it'll be 5.5%. If it's lower, then obviously it'll be lower. But yeah, we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. So all fingers and toes crossed for that one. So yeah, as far as the colour goes as well too, it's not bad. It's quite dark in here, but in the light it looks really kind of nice little red colour. So I maybe could have put it a point down instead of maybe closer to 16, maybe high 15s or something like that. Try and get a bit more red, but a bit lighter. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I'm happy enough with it. I'll just say Happy Homebrew Wednesday. I don't have a drink. Got an energy drink. Cheers. Hello, Happy Homebrew Wednesday. It is another brew day, yes it is. I'm out in the garage. The brew is on now. Just for Hello, Happy Homebrew Wednesday. It is a brew day. Yes it is indeed. It is a brew day. I'm not brewing in here, I'm brewing outside, but I thought I'd come in here, it's a bit quieter. So yeah, I wasn't sure what I was going to do today. There was only fuck's sake. Get the fucking radio on.